This is Plant-Based Briefing, Turkeys by United Poultry Concerns at upc-online.org. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson, and this is a curated content podcast where I research and select articles on a variety of topics related to plant-based and vegan living, get permission, and read them to you here in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And I want to start by wishing everyone in Canada a happy Thanksgiving today. My daughter is actually celebrating Thanksgiving today in Canada because she's at university in Vancouver, and she and her roommate and my sister, who lives in Vancouver, are all getting together to have a cruelty-free vegan Thanksgiving. However, most people are not having a cruelty-free Thanksgiving. Most people have turkey as the centerpiece of their dinner. And the post I'm going to read to you today is actually a brochure that United Poultry Concerns has put together, and you can print off or order copies of to help educate people about the truth behind their turkey dinner. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Turkeys by United Poultry Concerns at upc-online.org. A man paid us a visit one day. Inside the barn, he said, "I don't eat red meat anymore, but I still eat chicken and turkey." Along comes Milton, burdened by the overweight and arthritis afflicting turkeys who are bred for meat. Soon this man was exclaiming, with Milton standing attentively beside him, "I didn't know turkeys could..." Could what? I think he was trying to say, be companionable. Turkeys have a zest for living and enjoying the day. Treated with respect, they become very friendly. At a distance, turkeys look like otherworldly visitors moving gracefully through the grass. Up close, one sees their large, dark, almond-shaped eyes and sensitive, fine-boned faces. In nature, turkeys spend up to 5 months close to their mothers. Turkeys raised for food never know the comfort of the mother bird's wings or the joy of exploring the woods and fields with her. Turkeys are full of diseases and drugs. Turkeys are not suited to crowded confinement systems, including so-called free range, which is a fraudulent term. When hundreds, even thousands of birds are forced to sit and stand in a crowded yard or in filthy litter, wood shavings and excrement, breathing burning ammonia fumes and lung-destroying dust, they develop respiratory diseases, ulcerated feet, blistered breasts, and ammonia-burned eyes. Most turkeys are fed antibiotics to promote artificial growth and to control salmonella, listeria, campylobacter, and other diseases transmittable to humans. Poultry Science reports that 72 to 100% of chickens, turkeys, and ducks have campylobacter at the slaughterhouse, despite all the drugs. Turkeys are painfully lame and obese. Turkeys have been bred to grow so fast and heavy that their bones are too weak to carry the weight. Turkeys frequently suffer from painful lameness so severe they try to walk on their wings to reach food and water. If a 7-pound human baby grew as fast as baby turkeys are forced to grow, the human baby would weigh 1,500 pounds at 18 weeks old. Feedstuffs says turkeys raised for food have problems standing and fall and are trampled on or seek refuge under feeders. Forced to grow too large too fast, turkeys raised for food develop congestive heart and lung disease, accompanied by engorged coronary blood vessels, distended fluid-filled heart sacs, abdominal fluid, and gelatin-covered enlarged congested livers. Turkeys are mutilated at birth. Quote, "Very few animals go through the stresses of poults, baby turkeys, in their first 3 hours of life. They are squeezed for sexing, thrown down a slide onto a treadmill, someone picks them up and pulls the snoot off their heads, clips 3 toes off each foot, debeaks them, puts them on another conveyor belt that delivers them to another carousel where they get a power injection, usually of an antibiotic, that whacks them in the back of their necks. Essentially, they have been through major surgery. They have been traumatized. They don't look very good," unquote. Dr. William E. Donaldson, North Carolina State University. Turkeys are painfully debeaked and detoed without anesthesia to offset the destructive effects of overcrowding and lack of environmental stimulation. Beaks are amputated with a hot machine blade. The blade cuts through the sensitive beak tissue, causing severe pain and suffering in the mutilated birds. Debeaked birds cannot eat or preen properly, and detoed birds have trouble walking. Turkeys are sexually abused to reproduce. Turkeys used for breeding cannot mate naturally due to artificial growth rates. Male and female turkeys used for breeding are masturbated and artificially inseminated in order to obtain semen, which is driven into the female bird's body. A quote-unquote milker at a Conagra turkey breeding facility in Missouri described his job, quote, "I have never done such hard, dirty, disgusting work in my life. 10 hours of pushing birds, grabbing birds, wrestling birds, jerking them upside down, pushing open their vents, dodging their panic-blown excrement, and breathing the dust stirred up by terrified birds," unquote. Turkeys are tortured to death. Between 12 and 26 weeks old turkeys are grabbed by catchers and carried upside down by their legs to the transport truck. Jammed in crates, they travel without food, water, or weather protection to the slaughterhouse. No U.S. welfare laws regulate the treatment of turkeys, chickens, ducks, or other birds during catching, transport, or slaughter. At the slaughterhouse, turkeys are torn from the crates and hung by their feet upside down on a movable belt, torture for a heavy bird especially. They may or may not be quote-unquote stunned, paralyzed while fully conscious, by a handheld electrical stunner or by having their faces dragged through an electrified water bath. The purpose of electrical stunning is to paralyze the muscles of the feather follicles, allowing the feathers to come out easily, and has nothing to do with humane slaughter. The electricity shoots through the bird's eyes, eardrums, and hearts, causing intolerable pain, according to researchers. Nor does throat cutting, with or without prior electrical stunning, produce a humane death. You can help turkeys by following these 6 simple steps. Discover the joy of turkey-free cooking and dining. Contact your legislators. Urge them to enact laws banning the crowding, debeaking, detoeing, drugging, and artificial insemination of turkeys. Urge them to adopt humane poultry slaughter legislation. Tell your family, friends, coworkers, and news media how badly turkeys are treated. Use the information in this brochure for letters to the editor and other opportunities to speak out. Urge restaurants and stores to provide wholesome vegan foods free of meat, dairy, and eggs. Bypass quote-unquote free range. To learn more about the free range fraud, visit upc-online.org/free-range. And visit our website for more information about what you can do to help turkeys, chickens, ducks, and other domestic fowl. Thank you for choosing to make a difference. You just listened to Turkeys from United Poultry Concerns at upc-online.org, and I'm your host, Marian Erickson, and please do share this episode with anyone who might be willing to listen. Speaking up and educating others might help more people choose to have a cruelty-free Thanksgiving and holiday season. There are so many turkey alternatives out there that are plant-based and cruelty-free, of course. And also people can just look up recipes. You can make a seitan roast. You can do a mushroom Wellington as a centerpiece. There are tons of options that are amazing. Once you have a bit of an understanding of the cruelty behind animal agriculture, and you realize you don't need to pay for that cruelty, check out some of those alternatives, and thanks for listening.